Tonight, we hear from Saskatchewan travelers impacted by Air Canada flight changes. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre visits Saskatchewan to talk tariffs. And a tough day for Saskatchewan at the Canada Games.
This is CBC Saskatchewan News.
It is Thursday, August 14th, and the CBC Saskatchewan News starts right now. I'm Ethan Williams. Thank you for joining us. Air Canada is already canceling flights in anticipation of a lockout or strike by flight attendants starting Saturday. And as Jamie Strachan tells us, the two sides appear to be far from reaching a deal.
I'm just feeling really anxious. I'm nervous.
Letitia Halbadell has to get home to Toronto from Taipei, and quickly. She has a final exam to write.
I'm just really worried that if I don't get back on time and I can't take this, I'm not going to be able to graduate.
For thousands of Air Canada passengers hoping to get home or take a long-anticipated holiday, a looming job action has turned plans upside down, including this father who hoped to see his daughter compete in the Canada Games.
It's extremely nerve-wracking because we have no clue if we're going to be able to make it.
Without a deal between Air Canada and its more than 10,000 flight attendants, a strike or lockout will begin early Saturday morning. The airline already canceled some international long-haul flights today. Friday, 500 more flights will be canceled, affecting more than 100,000 customers.
On Saturday morning, we'll be completely grounded. We expect that will affect 130,000 customers a day, including 25,000 Canadians a day that we usually bring home from abroad who risk to be stranded.
The airline says customers can change travel plans without a fee and will receive refunds if flights are canceled. Beyond that, few options.
Unfortunately, this being the peak of the summer travel season, our ability to rebook customers on other airlines will be very limited.
The two sides appear deeply divided, each side accusing the other of making unsustainable offers.
I'm really sorry about the questions that we have not been able to answer. We'll stop here. Thank you.
Flight attendants interrupting the airline's morning press conference. The major sticking point, wages. CUPE says many flight attendants struggle to buy food and pay rent.
We believe our flight attendants deserve a wage they can live with and to change this industry into a career.
The two sides are currently not speaking, meaning there could be major inconveniences ahead for those slated to fly on Canada's largest airline. Jamie Strachan, CBC News, Toronto.
Of course, travelers in Saskatchewan are dealing with the disruptions too, including a Saskatoon woman who's traveling home from Zimbabwe. She's traveling on another airline to Toronto, but is booked with Air Canada for the rest of her trip home.
We're at the mercy of waiting to see if they're going to actually cancel our trip. And if they do, then it's a matter of waiting to see how long it's going to take to get us home. And if it's going to be more than 3 days, then we will have to rent a car and drive. I mean, best case scenario is they come to an agreement and our flight does not get canceled, and we're praying and fingers crossed for that, absolutely. And, that's all we can do is keep moving forward, and hopefully positive things will happen.
Yeah, we've thought about changing our plans, but we've been booked for some events in Toronto for a couple months now, and, we just hope that, the airline will figure out a way to come to agreement with the organizations and the unions involved, and hopefully we can keep resuming, everyday tourism, because I think the tourism industry is going to get affected as if it goes long term. That's my worries.
From what I'm aware of, I know that my understanding is that one of the big concerns is that they're not being paid for work that they have to do before and after the flight takes off, and I think they should be paid for that. And if that means that prices have to go up, then I think they should, because I think that if your business relies on unpaid labor, then maybe you shouldn't be in business.
And we are also keeping an eye on negotiations between Canada Post and the union representing 55,000 postal workers. They will be back at the bargaining table Friday for 2 days of talks. Earlier this month, postal workers rejected what Canada Post called its best and final offer. The union says its national overtime ban remains in effect. Canada Post has said it looks forward to a detailed response from the union that addresses the challenges faced by the Postal Service when they meet. We are just a few days away from finding out if Pierre Poilievre has won or lost a by-election in rural Alberta. But the Conservative Party leader was not in that province Thursday. Instead, he was speaking with reporters near Saskatoon about tariffs. Jeremy Warren reports.
Pierre Poilievre says Ottawa should compensate farmers hit by canola tariffs. On Thursday, the Conservative Party leader held a media event at a farm outside Saskatoon. He says Ottawa should use the money it makes off of Chinese electric vehicle tariffs to compensate farmers facing tariffs.
You know, there's a tariff dispute with the Chinese government. The money raised by the Canadian government in that dispute should go back to the people who are paying the bills.
This week, China announced a 75.8% preliminary duty on Canadian canola seed that starts today. It claims Canada is dumping canola into China and hurting its domestic canola oil market. The new tariff follows the 100% tariff China levied on Canadian canola oil and meal in March. China's moves are in response to Canada's 100% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles. The ag industry says this effectively shuts Canadian canola out of the Chinese market. Poilievre says the new canola seed tariff is an unjustified attack on farmers, and Prime Minister Mark Carney is failing them.
I think that what Beijing's latest attack on our economy shows is that countries smell weakness. Mark Carney has been failing. He's failed, he's backed down, he's made concession after concession vis-a-vis the Americans. He broke his promise to have a deal on July 21st.
Poilievre wants Canada to retaliate. He repeated his demand for Ottawa to cancel its loan to BC Ferries for a shipbuilding contract connected to China. Prime Minister Mark Carney says he spoke to Premier Scott Moe about the canola tariffs this week. In a social media post, Carney says together they're working on ways to support farmers with guidance from industry leaders. China has a September deadline to decide if it will end or extend canola tariffs. Jeremy Warren, CBC News, Saskatoon.
The provincial fire ban has been lifted. It comes as rain is now easing the wildfire threat in northern Saskatchewan. The rain has also helped finally contain the ditch, shoe, and wolf fires, which have been burning since the spring. Wet and rainy conditions in recent days have helped crews hold lines. Evacuations have lifted for some communities, including Isle Lacrosse, Canoe Lake, and Canoe Narrows, but about 1,100 people are still out of their homes. There are no highway closures due to wildfires, although smoke is lingering in some areas.
Over the last 3 to 4 days, all areas of the northern forest have received between 5 and 20 millimeters of rain. That has increased our ability to contain these fires and accomplish more, and has also reduced the risk of these fires to local communities and infrastructure.
As conditions improve, some out-of-province aircraft and fire crews are being sent home. The SPSA reminds people that local fire bans may still apply in parks and municipalities, and people still need to be cautious while camping and hiking to ensure no new fires are started. The opposition NDP says the province needs to be more transparent about complaints made against the Saskatchewan Marshals Service. CBC News previously reported a Marshals employee resigned from the force after a misconduct allegation. An independent investigation into the complaint was completed but never released. The NDP submitted a Freedom of Information request for all information related to misconduct complaints at the force going back to 2022. It got back nearly 300 pages of redacted documents. The NDP says the province needs to reveal more about what happened with the employee who resigned.
There are a lot of rumors going around about what happened. I think it's important for the minister, who is the person who has the complaint, who can be transparent and actually verify what actually happened. There is ways that he can do that without having to disclose the name of the marshal and the name of the complainant or complainants.
In a statement, the province says the head of the Marshal's Service determined what to release for the Freedom of Information request, not elected officials. The province says the NDP is attempting to dictate the decisions of two independent oversight bodies. Well, a look now at Curry Field in Regina. The Red Sox have one more dragon to slay in order to capture the Western Canadian Baseball League Championship, and that is the Sylvan Lake Gulls, who are in town for Game 1 of the WCBL Championship Series. Our Aliyah Marco Omene is there, and we'll speak to one of the Red Sox players when we come back. Welcome back. The Saskatchewan Roughriders are preparing for a heavyweight battle on Saturday. The 7-1 Riders are hosting the top team in the East Division, the Hamilton Tiger Cats. The Ticats currently sit at 6-3 on the season and have won 6 of their last 7 games. The Riders knocked off the Tabbies in Week 2 with a final score of 28-23. But Hamilton is playing much better ball lately. Riders head coach Corey Mace says his squad is ready to put up a fight.
Most teams, I think they're more comfortable in what's being asked for them to do. Offensively, they're obviously gelling really well. Defensively, they had a new coach come in Monson and just being able to digest their system. So, they're a much more put together team. I think just confident in the calls and what they're supposed to be doing, which is ultimately what leads them to the record they have.
Receiver Sam Emelis and returner Mario Alford will be sitting out Saturday's game. Kickoff for the nearly sold-out match is set for 1 o'clock at Mosaic Stadium. Well, Game 1 of the WCBL Championship Series goes tonight at Curry Field in Regina as the Red Sox continue to chase the league title for the first time since 2012, or win the title since 2012, I guess I should say. Aliyah Marco Omene is at Curry Field now, and what is happening down there right now, Aliyah?
The players are gearing up, and Ethan, you can feel the tension in the air. The Regina Red Sox are heading to the WCBL Finals for the first time since 2019, where they lost to Okotoks in Game 2. Now they're facing the Sylvan Lake Gulls, who were top of their league this regular season. So the pressure is definitely on. I'm here with left-handed pitcher Tyler Fortin. Tyler, you've had a crazy couple of weeks. You beat out Medicine Hat in the semifinals, and you just beat your Highway 11 rivals, the Saskatoon Berries. What do you think is working well for the team right now?
Honestly, we kind of had some rough patches throughout the regular season. Expectations were a lot better than what we finished the season to be, but at the end of the year, we kind of all came together as a group and realized a lot of us are a long ways from home, so might as well go out and try to win the whole thing together, and that's just kind of how we've done it so far.
Well, you haven't faced the Gulls since late June. What's the strategy heading into this series?
Honestly, we just got to stick to what we've been doing. We know we can pitch it well. Usually we're really good defensively, so hopefully that we can rely on that tonight, and we know the swings are going to come from our offense, so that we're not worried about the offense part.
All right, so what do you think? Do you think that this could be the year that you guys bring home another championship title?
You just have to stay tuned and watch, but I'm pretty confident about this year and how everything's been with the team, so yes, ma'am.
Well, we'll see this weekend. Regina is heading to Alberta, where they will play Sylvan Lake on their home turf for Game 2 and Game 3 if needed.
All right, an exciting night ahead. Aliyah, thank you. That is CBC's Aliyah Marco Omene live at Curry Field in Regina. And weather specialist Helena Mahalik joins us now, and it looks like maybe some nice weather for that game, Helena.
Yeah, Ethan, it's going to be beautiful for that game, although it wasn't so beautiful last night with severe thunderstorms throughout much of Saskatchewan. Let's take a look at just how much rainfall we got with that system. Much of south and central Saskatchewan got upwards of 20 millimeters of rainfall. Wynyard got the most with close to 30 millimeters, but many areas just north of Saskatoon got quite a good amount. At least here in Saskatoon, the rainfall did not last long, anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes, and we did get about 20 millimeters or close to it with that system in a very short amount of time. Thursday evening in the province, we're seeing mainly calm skies, but there is a chance of some rainfall in the north. There's actually a rainfall warnings up north due to the heavy amounts of rainfall that could be present in that area until the evening. So that's that system coming in, and it's going to pass towards Manitoba. Friday, we're going to see some more rainfall possible for central areas in between Saskatoon and Prince Albert in the northern grain belt. It will be a bit of a gloomier start to the weekend with some more rainfall expected, continuing to see that rainfall hitting parts of the north, especially in the Churchill region around La Ronge. But Sunday we're going to see things really clearing up and mainly calm skies throughout much of the province. But northern Saskatchewan is in for a few days of rain. That heavy rainfall began Wednesday, and by Friday, anywhere from 25 to 50 millimeters in total is expected. But we did see some lighter rain that's going to continue over the weekend. So this model shows that another 5 to 15 millimeters is expected on top of that already significant rainfall for northern Saskatchewan, which is definitely good because that part of the province had a really dry July. We did see that most areas in the north did not get much moisture to combat those wildfires. La Ronge and Prince Albert got less than a quarter of their normal precipitation. But on the other hand, we have this yellow zone in the southeastern part of the province, and that area actually received over 150% of their normal moisture. But it looks like August we're going to get a lot more rainfall. Temperature-wise, Thursday, things definitely cooled down in the province, with temperatures in the high teens. Parts of the far north even reached the single digits with that low system. Friday, we're not really getting anywhere close to hot. We're still going to be hovering just at that 20-degree mark. Same thing into Saturday with some more rainfall expected. Things are going to remain quite cool, but by Sunday, Ethan, we're going to see things warming up. So at least we have one day of hot weather for the weekend.
Yeah, I know a lot of people looking forward to those summer temperatures returning. Thank you, Helena.
Thanks, Ethan.
Well, severe summer temperatures can lead to serious health concerns, especially for those who work outdoors. One scientist is now working on a tool that she hopes will help keep farm workers safe. It's a biopatch device that monitors a person's vital signs for heat-related stress.
Farm workers are 35 times more likely to have a heat-related death, followed by construction workers, who are 13 times. And so these are the two sectors that have the highest heat-related mortality. We worked with farm workers communities to come up with this device. I mean, they were very interested in having something that could protect them because they understand how dangerous it is to work outdoors in the heat. It's pretty much like a magnet. You just put it on your chest, and all of that data is coming into this device. And eventually, what our computer science team is going to do is use that data to train AI so that we are able to recognize someone who is heading into the danger zone before they collapse from heat stress, and to let them know, it's time to take a break, to hydrate, to cool down. We also wanted to be able to use technology and the power of AI to try to recognize before someone gets sick. Heat-related deaths are preventable deaths.
Well, if you only have 15 minutes to work out, a newly released study shows that's just enough time to stay healthy, especially if you're walking fast. A study published in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine suggests 15 minutes of daily fast walking can have the same health benefits as hours of moderate movement. It tracked the progress of over 85,000 participants over 16 years. Those who fast walked for at least 15 minutes every day saw a nearly 20% reduction in premature death. That's compared to a 4% reduction among those who walked slowly for over 3 hours daily. Well, electronic music has a new face. This robot band made its first major performance at the opening ceremony of the World Humanoid Robot Games in Beijing Thursday. Yes, those exist. It is the first international sports festival for humanoid robots. Each of the 5 band members are able to analyze scores and notes in real time, and the band's engineers hope they will eventually be able to use these robots to teach music. Stay with us. We're back after the break. Well, it was a challenging day 6 for Team Saskatchewan at the Canada Summer Games, but there is still hope for success. Here's a look at what happened Thursday in St. John's. It was a tough day on the basketball court for both teams. The men lost their quarterfinal versus Quebec 90-64, and the women's team lost their game to BC 74-65. They'll play in a consolation match Friday morning. A similar disappointing result on the tennis court. Saskatchewan's mixed team dropping their quarterfinal to Alberta. But there was better news on the soccer field. The men won their qualifying match against Yukon 3-0, but after going winless in preliminary play, they'll face Manitoba Friday morning to battle for 9th place. The men's beach volleyball team lost twice, first to Ontario, then their qualifier versus New Brunswick. They'll play in a Friday morning consolation match. And the women's softball team was shut out against PEI Thursday, losing 4-0. They head home with an 8th place finish. There is still hope for Team Sask, though. The men's baseball team will play in the semifinal Friday against Quebec. Well, Helena, maybe there's at least some good news in our forecast.
Yeah, Ethan, there's some good news. Things will definitely be heating up in the province over the next few days. Let's take a look at the forecast for the city of Regina. Friday, things quite aren't heating up yet. We do have a chance of some showers, and temperatures will be below 20 degrees. But as we get into the weekend, southern Saskatchewan will be our hot spot, with temperatures returning to seasonal before climbing up closer to the 30-degree mark Sunday. Sunday's when the chance of thunderstorms begins, and we're going to see that take us until Tuesday. But as we get to Tuesday, temperatures will be at that 30-degree mark. Finally, some heat in the province before we see another chance of showers and temperatures return to seasonal. Saskatoon will also have a cooler start to the weekend with temperatures below 20 degrees in the mid-teens. We are seeing things slowly warming up throughout the week. By Sunday, things return to seasonal before climbing up closer to 30 degrees Tuesday. We will have a few breezy days as well, and later into next week, we do see that chance of thunderstorms return, but temperatures will be at seasonal, Ethan, so maybe Tuesday's finally the day to get outside and enjoy the nice weather.
Yeah, finally. Okay, thank you, Helena.
Thanks, Ethan.
And that is our news for this Thursday. For news anytime, you can head to cbc.ca/sask or subscribe to the CBC Saskatchewan YouTube channel or download the CBC News app on your smartphone or tablet. Thanks so much for watching.